Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Unbox Live with Drake and Jiles. Getting started a little bit late today as we recovered from some technical glitches, but we are ready to rock and roll, I hope. First off, I want to introduce my producer. Drake, throw yourself up there and say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Drake's feeling a little under the weather, and I don't know if it's because he just is sick or because he's got finals all next week. I know that would make me feel not so good too, but thanks very much for struggling through it to help us run these cameras and get this episode up on the air for everybody. Now, Drake will be watching comments, so if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, let me know. We had some great folks out in the audience that saved us from a no audio issue a little bit earlier today, so thank you so much for that. And we're ready to get this rolling. So today, we're going to take a look at the RSL Speedwoofer 10E Mark II. This is their new 10-inch sub. That has been out for a couple of months now. I think we're on the second production run of these. I didn't get in on the first run of them for a review, but I'm in on the second. I got this sometime last week, so it's still very, very new to me, and it's only been here for a couple of days, and now it's time to unbox this bad boy, and we're going to get right into this thing. But first, remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things, and I will appreciate it. All right, so from a box perspective, we are looking at about 19.5 by 20 by almost 20. So not exactly a cube, but pretty darn close to a cube. Now, the box has been through trauma. The shippers did not do us any favors there. Dropped on the corner here. Not quite a full puncture here, but some pretty good knocks on edges. Another big edge drop here. Not quite a puncture, but almost scraped across. Dropped on the edge hard here. Dropped on this corner. So this will be a great test to know if the packaging is sufficient, because this thing has probably been bounced around as much as you would expect anything to get bounced around in transit. So I'll cross my fingers that everything is good in here. On the front of the box, if we go over to camera 2, you can see that the only badging on the outside is a very small silver sticker that says RSL 10E black with a QR code, and it says that it is textured PVC. This side is blank, bottom is blank. This side has the exact same silver sticker with a RSL barcode that is very long of some kind, but that's it. And with that, I think we'll get into it. From a weight perspective, it's not super heavy, but I can't pick it up at arm's length. But it is carryable by one person without any struggle or trauma. And I think what I'll do with this is, Drake, if I can get a little help from you when I do this, I'm going to lay it on its side, since I'm trying to do it on top of this countertop. And I'll pop the top, and then we'll slide the insides out and the box off like we usually do. So, Drake, if you could give me a hand with this. And I think maybe if you could put us on camera 2, it would help us. Are we on camera 2 already? Yeah. Man, look at you. Super pro. Plenty of tape to keep this guy closed. And the question is, are we double boxed?
Yep.
Yes, we are. So let's see if we can just deal with the double box right here without pulling it out. Double box is always super nice. It helps a lot, particularly with all these drops that we're seeing with shipping all the time. Okay. Inside of the box here, Drake, can you read that for us?
Welcome to the RSL family.
Okay.
This Speedwoofer was designed to thrill you every time you listen.
We're going to be thrilled.
Maybe.
I'm going to upside down and sideways. If this is ever not the case, contact us. We'll help your 10E reach its full potential. Phone number, website. All right. Lots of packing there. Some packing here. All right, and then packing here and here. Okay, so do you want to pull on this or you want to pull in the box?
I'll hold the box.
Okay. And hopefully you guys can see what's going on here pretty well. Okay, hang on a second. I want to, okay, where's the, that's the side, that's the side. This is a driver. All right, so let me see. Okay. Go ahead. All right, okay. And the rest of that is empty, thank you. And we'll put this to the side. Probably much easier to do if you do it on the floor like you're supposed to, as opposed to on top of a kitchen island. All right, now we're going to set this up. And well, before we set it up, let's take a look at the bottom here on camera 1. So the foam looks like it's all pretty intact. And we have rubber feet here on the bottom that are held on by a screw that penetrates into the case. We can see the vinyl wrap that was called out on the exterior box. See if we can flip this up. And can you put this on camera 1, Drake? Let's see if we can reveal this guy. All right, what we got? All right, nice. So come up here on the front with you, and we have a grill RSL logo here at the bottom. This is. Let's look at the dimensions. So on the width, we've got 15 inches. With the grill on, we're doing a depth of 15 3/4 about, plus probably 16 inches or 16 1/4 with all of the knobs in the back. And then from a height point of view, we're doing 15 and slightly more than a half. Without the grill on the front, we are at maybe 15 1/2 with the knobs. Now let's see what we can do with the grill here. I'm assuming that it's a pin system. Yeah, there are pins in here. So this will come off. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks good. And I see no damage on the sub from the shipping. And this thing got bounced really, really freaking hard. So that's really nice. The vinyl wrap looks nice and solid. There's a little tiny bit of a squish here. It's not really noticeable, but it looks like it got pushed down just a bit there. But yeah, the corners are pretty nice and sharp. The grill, nice and tight here. No problems with that. Like it. I'm going to set this back to the side here. And so let's talk about some differences that you see between this and the 12, right? Now the 12 obviously is 2 inches bigger on the driver. And let's do a driver measurement and see exactly what we're working with here as well. So from surround to surround, it is 9 3, slightly more than 3/4. And then for the entire basket assembly, we're 10 3/4 inches there. So that falls right into the zone. This isn't like a 8 1/2 inch something that they're calling a 10. This looks pretty solidly in 10-inch diameter range. Now, as I was saying, if you compare to the 12, obviously it's a lot smaller, but the 12 up here, you have a little LED display. And this is to show the different DSP setting that you have, as well as volume. This does not have that feature on the front. And then for other items, we've got some instructions here and a power cord, and that's all she wrote. Now, if we get around to the back, See if I can spin this around for you. Plenty of space to get my fingers into there. So we can see we have a slot port on the back, and the 12 is rear ported as well. So this is a common design theme for the RSL subs, rear porting on them, as opposed to what you traditionally see as a front port. This is the XDR 300 extended dynamic range amplifier. Now I don't have the specifications in front of me, but I would assume this means it's a 300 watt amp. I don't know. I will cover all of those specifics in the review video. This is just the unboxing so we can see what we got going on. We have ungrounded 2-prong power. We've got a 240 volt, 120 volt selector switch, and it's set to 115. There's a power on off switch. There's a screw here that's silver. And maybe this is for grounding if you need to ground it. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a silver screw for no reason in particular. I don't know. The plate amp is held on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws on the edge. And then here, top to bottom, we've got volume. And this is nice and smooth. It's not catching on anything. We have crossover. And then we have it clicks into bypass mode. I don't know if you can hear that. So it clicks into bypass mode. And then it's listed at 20 hertz in bypass mode, and then it starts at 30, goes up through 80, and then no, I'm sorry. In bypass mode, it's bypassed. Then it goes from 30, 80 is at the top, and then 200. I thought that said 20. That's 200 hertz over there. So you can cross this thing over quite high. Gets a little bit of scratch in the twist when we get way over there on that side, but it's nice and smooth over here, and a nice solid click. This shows when you go into bypass mode, this goes to home theater settings, and then left, which is where they want you to put the LFE. There's a phase, which is infinitely variable between 0 and 180 degrees. Nice smooth operation there. And then we have auto power for on and off. So usually you'll see 3 settings here, but this is simple. You either have auto power or you don't have auto power. But there's no, I don't know if, I wonder if you have this on and then auto power is off, if it's just on, and then you use this to the on off switch. What you'd usually see is this is a master, and then this would have off, on, and auto would be in the middle. So maybe they're using this is just the master, and then you either have auto power on or off, and if it's off, this is on all the time, and if it's on, then it senses and turns on. And then for line in, you've got 2 RCAs, so there's no XLR input on this if you're an XLR person, and if you're going to do a single, they want you to use LFE, but I almost always use left and right, and I use a Y splitter just to get the extra voltage across the inputs on the subwoofer. But that's the rear of the unit. And then of course you see the slot port, and the slot port is pretty thin. Let's measure this and see what we got going on here. We are looking at a 1/2 inch tall by about 13.5 wide on the slot port. And since it's slot ported on the back, I assume that you have the port is less, the length is less than the depth of the subwoofer, so it's going to be less than 15 inches. All right, so that covers the unboxing of this guy. He's pretty straightforward. This is a non-bells and whistles kind of situation. There's nothing crazy going on with the sub. So really, I think this one just comes down to cost and performance, right? So the cost is low. I'm not going to call it out because I don't remember. I think it's $300. But I don't want to go on a limb without looking it up. But we can figure that out for the review. In other words, the price is really aggressive. It's a really good price. But there's not a lot of bells and whistles with it. It just will work. I assume that there'll be some type of protection curve inside of the plate amp itself, and we'll figure that out when we measure it. And we'll see what the output looks like. And looks like we have a question or comment. So producer Drake, what's going on?
Film says it's 500, but the E version is 300.
Okay, there we go. Thank you so much for the pricing on it. And this is the E version. So that, I guess that would be another good item to look at is, what does this look like versus the step up model? And that's probably where all of the bells and whistles come in. And if you're just looking for the straight unit, this is the one for you. All right. There's no other questions out there, Drake, right now?
Just make sure the audio is on next time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We figured out what the problem was, and I think we can skip that on the next one. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. If you like this video, I'm going to throw up another one right here you can check out that'll be similar that I think you'll like as well. Make sure to watch that one after you hit the subscribe button. And with that, keep your eyes out, because if you're subscribed, you'll see the review video of this one when it drops. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.